All right, Chapter 16, India and the Indian Ocean Basin, subhead heading 4, which is the influence of Indian society and Southeast Asia. From the College Board's perspective, what they could really focus on in May for you could be that the state's formation and development demonstrated continuity, innovation, and diversity, including the new Hindu and Buddhist states that emerged in South and Southeast Asia. Also, it's important to note that Hinduism, Islam, and Buddhism and other core beliefs and practices continue to shape South and Southeast Asia. So there is a long history of influence of India over Southeast Asia, and that influence we can go to at least 500 BCE, if not before that. There's a lot of different ways you can see the influence, the use of kingship, sometimes even using the term Raja for king. We also see different religions, including Hinduism and Buddhism, are really going to move through that area, and later Islam. Also, when it comes to literature, some of the most famous Indian literature also makes it throughout its way throughout Southeast Asia. And to really understand, though, how Southeast Asia is different than many of its other contemporaries is the concept of a mandala. So a mandala would be right here. It's a geometric figure that can be important and has all sorts of different meanings, either in Hinduism or Buddhism. But what's interesting is this mandala is going to be also a way that they make their societies. Is their societies are not necessarily going to be are going to be more about areas of influence and personal relationship than it's going to be about actual borders with military and so on and so forth. And so it's one of the things that makes it kind of distinct during this time period. And so you can even see how they set things up politically can be similar to what a mandala actually design looks like. So who are some of these early states? Well, what's important to note is Southeast Asia is important and gets its power from being between South and East Asia. So what will happen is being able to control this area right here is going to be very important. And so, so what's going to happen here is if you are trading from India and trying to get to China, or going from China and trying to get to India, you are going to want to go across the very thin isthmus here, or through the Strait of Malacca. That's going to make it much easier than going all the way down and trying to go down here and then all the way back up. So one of those earliest groups is known as the Funan, who originally are kind of based here off of the Mekong River, which is a major river we associate with Vietnam today. Okay, and so they're going to be based here, but they're also going to control this area over here to this side. So as you notice, this isthmus can get very skinny. Not skinny like you can just walk across, but it can be much easier than going down the Malay Peninsula and coming back up. Okay, so the Funan are going to use that to help bolster their society. They're going to be primarily land-based, though, and they're going to use this to grow a strong agricultural center and power, in addition to being a place that helps facilitate trade. There's going to be some internal issues and power struggles that will happen with the Funan, and so what will end up happening is that the kingdom of Srivijaya will basically take over leadership of the area, and Srivijaya is based off of the island of Sumatra. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. So what's going to end up happening is they're based here, and what's important about that is this little strait between the Malay Peninsula and Sumatra is this Strait of Malacca. And so by controlling this, they basically are going to be able to tax and have power over everyone trying to trade from India and everyone trying to trade from China. Okay, so later on, what will end up happening is the next group, which is going to become incredibly prominent in that area, is going to be the kingdom of Angkor, which is again similar to the positioning of the earlier Funan. Okay, and so again, they're going to get their power by assisting with trade, including going across that isthmus. And so what's going to happen is they are going to become prominent for a couple different reasons. I mentioned the trade. They're going to have agricultural power. They are also known for their for the religious city. It's called the Angkor Wat, which is a very interesting structure, which still stands to this day. And the Angkor Wat is this huge, like, city of temples, which originally was based off of Hinduism, but then we also see a lot of Buddhist statues kind of side by side with the ones from the Hindu traditions, which makes it which makes it incredibly interesting. It's going to actually be saved. What's going to happen is that, as you can tell, Angkor is a little off the coast, and so what's going to happen is as the Angkor kind of falls into disrepair, the jungle literally swallows the city until it's rediscovered. And today is a very important and prominent religious attraction for people to go visit. So, so we've talked a little bit about how Hinduism has moved towards the area, and we have like especially the Funan are known for that. We're also going to have Buddhism, which will also have moved into the area. So including Srivijaya and Angkor, we're going to have some Buddhist influence. The other major religion that we need to mention coming through is going to be Islam, and that is primarily going to be through merchants. Now, I realize that it's tough for you to kind of get your mind around this, because I'd imagine very few of you have ever gone on Amazon and bought something and been like, dude, I'm Buddhist now. That just doesn't happen, because our economic exchanges are very impersonal today through the internet. And in the past, being a merchant was about being a people person. And also, you would know the people you were buying from for long periods of time. As we learned in heading 2, because of the winds, you may stay up in a place much longer than you normally would if you were trading in other parts around the world. And so what's going to happen is these people, these merchants, are going to meet each other. So these foreign merchants who are going to meet the natives are going to meet with them, eat with them, laugh with them, and they're going to naturally start to share their religion with them. And out of the forms of Islam, the one that's going to be most popular throughout this area is going to be those which are given by Sufi missionaries. So if you remember from chapter 14, Sufi missionaries are definitely Muslim, but they focus much more on the mystical experience. They are much more inclusive on the way that you can worship Allah than their more orthodox Shia or Sunni Muslim brothers. And so what's going to happen is that this is perfect for merchants, because as they go into different places, they can share their religion. And as they're doing that, people can convert to Islam while retaining their Hindu or Buddhist traditions, which are important to them. And one of the things that really gives a boost to Islam in Southeast Asia is going to be the state of Malacca, which is going to be founded in the 1300s, and it's going to be based off of Sumatra, again, where like this Srivijaya was. And so what's going to happen is that, again, they're going to get their power from controlling the Strait of Malacca, which will bring a lot of money into their area. But what's interesting is they're also going to become a base for Islam. So what's going to end up happening is that the government is going to sponsor a lot of missionaries and Muslim scholars. And so we can see that influence today, because today, we see a lot of Islam in Southeast Asia, and the largest Muslim country in the entire world, the country with the most Muslims, is Indonesia, and it's not close. And so, that can trace all the way back to the state of Malacca in the South and Southeast Asia during the time of this Indian Ocean trade basin. All right, thanks a lot. Talk to you later.